Welcome to Sydney. It's the final of the Women's Asia Cup 2023 here in Australia. China and Japan in a repeat of the final 2 years ago. Japan are the five-time defending champions on a streak of epic proportions. China are the team that is trying to upset them again and wrestle this Women's Asia Cup title away from Japan. Enormous Chinese support in the arena. They've been here all week to support China. Great contingent from Japan. There should be a tremendous atmosphere with the home basketball fans from Australia staying to watch what it promises to be a classic Women's Asia Cup final. Earlier on today, Australia secured third place with an 81-59 win over New Zealand, and now China and Japan will decide who wins the Women's Asia Cup for 2023. With me, Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, Japan, we loved them in this tournament all the way through. The fans love them. They're worth the admission price on their own. How do you see this one going for them?
Well, they play such an entertaining style of basketball. It's quick, they spread the floor, they've got depth, they pressure defensively, and they're going to have to just bring all those elements that they've played so far in their previous 4 games to this final gold medal game. And I have no doubt that they can do it. Bit of pressure on them, however, when I say that they are just desperate to get that 6th title in a row, but standing in their way is the mighty Chinese team.
Well, Japan have been so good over the last decade. One hiccup, which was here last year when they really underachieved in the World Cup, coming into that World Cup as the Olympic silver medalists, having made the final in Tokyo. Well, they seem to have put that behind them. They're adjusting with a new coach over the last 2 years. And now, as I say, the team that they have beaten in recent finals in this Women's Asia Cup, China, with a huge amount of support in the gym, came through their semi-final against Australia last night. It's always tough to beat the hosts, but they have a superstar in Han Zhu. It's just, what a team they are.
Well, I think the speed that we're going to see this game played at, the pressure that we're going to see this game played at, is just going to be excellent for all the basketball fans. And China, they've got such a scoring punch, as you mentioned, with Han Xu in there, arguably up for one of the MVP awards. And she, along with her teammates, are going to try and cause an upset here this afternoon.
Well, there's the trophy that it's all about, the Women's Asia Cup. We can talk about this final more after the 2 national anthems, and we'll start with the national anthem of Japan.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of China.
Well, mementos of a continental championship are something to treasure. Players exchange those at the halfway line as we get another shot of the Women's Asia Cup, an impressive trophy. The third team on the floor, and you can't underestimate the achievement for these three officials, Hajar Jaladari, Yeon Lee, and Prida Moon Mi from Indonesia, Korea, and Thailand, respectively, take charge of this tie. Well, Laurie, got a shot there of Stephanie Moli, who's been phenomenal on the inside, and it's the athleticism of Japan that really impressive.
Well, it's the athleticism and it's the speed at which they play. They push at every single opportunity. On that rebound, you'll see 5 red singlets flowing down the floor, and they look at those early transition baskets, and they're really good at it. They shoot the 3-ball really well, which is really important for China to try and take them off the line, force them to put it to the floor and see what they can do out of that. But what we've seen so far this tournament, they are team-oriented, they play a fun brand of basketball, and they're going to be difficult to stop.
Well, Coach Onzuka has tried to pick up this program that just Coach Fassi from China now with the men. It's a difficult job to sort of step into that role, but he has now established himself at the helm of this Japanese team, and he's added to an already successful program. They had that year of adjustment leading up to the World Cup, and now they look like they are really on the right page. China, we're going to go at their starting lineup. Obviously, they have a world superstar in Xu Han, but it's not just about her.
Well, no, and we talk about the speed of Japan, but for China, they've got some great height out there. They've got some high IQ players, and they play equally pressure defense, and that is leading the way, for the players to come out. Wang certainly leads the way in that charge with her pressure defense.
Well, they had the injury issue last night in the semi-final. The captain doesn't look like she's going to be able to play, and Yang is a miss. He's going to be a real miss.
Well, that's the one real negative coming into this game, and because she's the captain, she's experienced, she's been to the last Asia Cup, the Olympics, the World Cup, so they'll miss her on the court, but no doubt she'll be on the bench and be an extra coach out there helping her teammates in every way possible.
Well, the Tisei countdown to tip-off. 1 minute remains before this Women's Asia Cup final. Japan on a 5-championship streak. Just a phenomenal achievement. Well, people always talk about these things having to come to an end at some point. And China, who some people say, should have won 2 years ago. Japan found a way to win. Are they going to be able to get over the line this time and become the Women's Asia Cup title holders? First time in over a decade that they would be a continental champion. And that starts to weigh heavy on you after a while.
Well, both teams have gone, we want to win this Asia Cup. Both teams have 8 players from the World Cup that was held here just a year ago, where China finished second, Japan, as you mentioned, 9th, and have had to regroup. But as well, 7 and 8 players from their Olympic campaign. So both teams have got a lot of experience, have played a lot together. So I anticipate this one to come right down to the wire.
Well, welcome to Sydney, wherever you are joining us from in the world. 2 of the top 10 teams in the world rankings facing off for a continental title. And China will get a look at it in the first half-court set. Huge noise, back cut, easy layup, super execution.
That was perfect timing, that pass. She passed it to a little bit ahead of the offensive player, was able to just run onto it and score.
Jin gets the 2. The open 3 off the down screen is good. Wow, what a start. Hayashi with the feet set, knocks down the 3.
It's great to see this sort of start from both teams in such a big game with so much at stake.
Wang gets it into the half court. Lee moves it on. Han in the corner, inside out, deep on the clock. The tough lean away two is no good. And the speed of the defense is just relentless. Yamamoto takes the early drag screen and moves the ball. Muli hits the second side. Japan flowing. Takada with the reposition. Yamamoto going inside, and they just about save it. 5 on the possession. Muli puts it on the floor hard to the far side. The ring is blocked. And China will just slow on this possession. Li gets her feet set, fires the three. Big-time players, big-time moments. She knocks down the three.
She looked very comfortable coming off of that screen and pulling up.
Almost the and one. As Akaho just, again, put it on the floor. Take a look at this. 12 comes from the weak side. Zhang Jipun. And on the free throw line, Hamadori, Akaho.
It's a good matchup, and I think Akaho will need to test the foot speed of Li Meng to see if that she can keep up with her, and so good decision to drive it into the basket.
Knocks down the pair, and Japan up the floor. They're just going to try and wear down this backcourt for China. Wang puts it on the floor, needs a pass. And sloppy, and the chance of Muli to lead the break. More than capable of doing that. Yamamoto wants, Takada has it. Ahaho, again, stops, pops, doesn't get the two to drop. Defensive rebound is Jin. Wana Jin. Shuhan. Meng Li puts it on the floor again, needs a pass. Shuhan with the mid-range two. Muli skies to the defensive rebound and leads the break. Yamamoto, extra pass, Takada for three. Got it!
There you go, the experience of Takada, feet set. I'm loving the matchup of these two elite level point guards.
Siyu Wang under pressure, gets it into the half court. Meng Li. Shuhan dives, gets it, has to face up, settles for the jumper, why not?
Can you believe the quality of this start in this game? There's no nerves at all.
Takada moves it on, Muli, extra pass, Hayashi, Yamamoto. Space to penetrate if she wants it, they're gonna leave her alone. Now they'll go pick and roll. Tries to turn the corner, gets into the lane, puts up the early floater, and you can see the effect of Shuhan changing shots. Great pass, super break. And Pong gets the two on the end of the break. She just released. Beautiful pass. Great tempo. Yamamoto. Hayashi, Takada, who drags Shuhan out the keyway. This could be one of the games where Takada's going to have to be a scorer. Muli going to work, far side of the ring, left hand. 24-second violation. Here's a replay of something you don't see very often. Japan getting beaten down the floor.
Well, that's what they insist on doing to other teams, and they just got a little bit of their own medicine there. Great transition basket by China.
Zhang Jipun really had the block, ran the floor, already having an impact.
Hirashita on the floor now.
Gonna watch this matchup the whole game. Siyu Wang gets it, always available. Shuhan. Three is no good. Yamamoto chases it down. Numbers down the floor here for Japan. Yamamoto shots and fires up the air ball for Yamamoto. And here comes China again. Upstairs. Shuhan has it knocked away. Everybody's on the floor. Yamamoto has it. Incessant pace. Muli puts it on the floor, crosses over, leans back for two. Wow, what a pace. What a pace. Yu Wang gets it into half here. Meng Li will reverse it. Turnover, great hand in the passing lane, just about secures it. Yamamoto for three is long. Well, if anything sums up Japanese basketball, that decision to shoot the three does. Jung Ji-pan puts it on the floor, crosses over, another turnover with a quickness on the hands, and Muli's away for the unopposed two.
That was a quick hands by both Muwali and Yamamoto to create that turnover and that break for Muwali.
The pressure around the half court from this Japanese defense is just incessant, relentless, any word you can think of. China take the timeout. We've already played 5 and a bit minutes, and I'm glad they've taken the timeout. We can get a blow.
I know.
先往里走，完了再去，你要到点你要接到球，你那个配合才能打成，你知道吗？每个点都接不着，完你在提上也是，对吧？他在你先接，该你上去的时候，你做好掩护再上去，不要着急。小帕，别晃，你一晃就把他卡，一定要做好摆脱，没有就反跑了嘛，没有就反跑了。打一个我，志远夹你说拿起来往中间打一个我啊，快点跑啊，都到位，关键跳投，都到位，把掩护做好。
She doesn't have to just handle it against the pressure. Surely they can, I know we've said this yesterday, surely she can look to release it up the floor from that Chinese backcourt.
Well, there's so much that, you know, to bring it up the floor on your own under that sort of pressure time and time again is, it really wears you down.
Yep. So after the timeout, Japan will show the 1-2, 1-1 zone trap, but they will match up long, that's the thing. They just show it. Now they're looking to be in the passing lane. Xu Wan is the release. And they get rushed into a shot that, in normal circumstances, Xu Yuwang would have made. But rushed into it, doesn't get the drop. Put so much pressure on Xu Han to release that pressure up the floor as well. China showed full court pressure themselves. Well, it's not totally full court because they wanted to stop Yamamoto again. Getting it, Muli puts it on the floor, will hand off. Yamamoto gets it to Muli. Shows it, comes to the middle. Takada fakes the shot down the lane for two. I do think she has to become a scorer.
She does, and we talked about it earlier in the tournament. She's been quite happy to be a facilitator, just be a steadying and influence on the floor, but she needs to bring all of her experience today.
Jin outside, moves it on. Look where they've found Xu Wan, way outside the three-point line. And they calls the turnover Japan, frustration from the Chinese bench. And we're going to see the penetration here from Takada. And there's no help because they've dragged Xu Han out of the keyway. And China are just going to have to think, it's one of those dilemmas, isn't it, Laurie? Like, does she protect the ring? If she does, protects the ring, whoever she's stepping off is a shooter.
They're going to shoot her, that's right. And that's the beauty of the Japan team is they can spread the floor and they're hard to defend.
Muli will get it off to whistle on the plate. The rush there was called coming off the screen. Jung Ji-pan. That's the other way of dealing with it. Share the ball in the backcourt. Hon Lee sees her first action. One of these Chinese guards is going to have a game. Great pass. Oh!
Came from nowhere, Muwali.
Muwali now's going to finish the play. Goes up strong. Gets blocked from behind. Now she stays with it and stays with the play. What an effort. Takada looks for a pass.
Nobody was on that weak side wing for her to pass it to.
Japan gets it to Takada, drags Shuhan out of the keyway. Malawi dives. Takada going to work, doesn't get it to drop. Shuhan comes down with the rebound. And Hong Lee gets China into the half court. Sets her feet for the three. Count it! Game on. No one stops the ball. Gonna go jump ball, and it will be a Japanese possession. 14 seconds still remain on the possession. Mass substitutions for Japan. They're going 5 for 5. Well, we talk about interchangeable.
Wow, look at the quality of players that have come onto the court. Miyazaki, we know how quickly she is, and Okaya, number 99, can shoot the three, can post up inside. And then Akaho's on there as well.
Motohashi has it, gets it to Mizaki, puts it on the floor. Nice pass. Super layup.
Super layup. Great teamwork, good court vision.
Well, anyone watching this around the world, watch and love it. Mong Lee steps back, single foot, no good. Japan as a team rebound, and they're off to the races again. Miyazaki, how quick was that? Inside, outside, no one filled the space. Should have automatically done that for Japan. Miyazaki will replace at the top, takes the ball screen. Little floater, and again, Shuhan makes her change the shot. Made the last one, might not try another one, but wasn't really set. Offensive rebound. Mong Lee down the lane for two is no good. Stays with the play to Shuhan for two. And this game is like it's being played in Beijing. The crowd are just so vocal behind this Chinese lineup. Ashi going to work, kicks it. Koi will try and set the ball screen, and she'll pop. Great rotation. The three is gone and short. Tremendous teamwork on the boards. Wan Jin brings it now. Lee has it. Will take the ball screen. Looks to go down the lane for two. Super decision. And China have the lead, 15 to 14.
Well, they're keeping pace with Japan, and that was going to be a question mark.
Okay, it settles for the three, lays it, drops it. And Shuhan just didn't want to take that extra step. And there's a blocking foul, which on Monica Okoye.
She tried to do the right thing by get her feet across to the sideline so she had nowhere to go, but the referees didn't quite see it that way.
Todo checks in for Japan. I think that makes it 11 Japanese players have seen the floor in the first 9 minutes of play. Han, sweet as you like off the glass. There's no way Japan can guard that if she catches it. Miyazaki pushes, and that's out of bounds on the sideline. Todo. Nanako Todo.
If she catches it that deep in the paint or on the block, then, like you say, that she's virtually unstoppable. Then you can try and double your time, but she made her move really quickly off that catch.
It's a super catch and go. Siyu Wang has it. Last shot of the first quarter is what China will hope. 9, getting down to 5 on the quarter time. Mong Lee is off for the three. And that will do it for the first quarter.
Oh, wow.
After the first quarter, we're still locked, 17 apiece. Tempo of the game set, no idea how this is going to go because both teams are at a really high level. 17 apiece after one.
Well, the stats right now, I look at them and I look at their percentages and they're shooting Japan 50% from the three-point line. But what's not on the stat sheet is the pace that this game is being played at, the decisions that have to be made at this pace, and can they both sustain it for 4 quarters?
Well, we know Japan will, because they're rotating everybody. Everybody in the first half will get in and try and keep the tempo high. The issue for Japan, obviously, and she's got a great engine. It's not debate her engine, but Shu Han has played the whole of the quarter. She's going to have to play most, if not all, of the game. Can she keep doing it? That's a huge question for China. I think their guard rotation is deep enough that they'll deal with the injury.
We see that shot from Takada, and she's had to do it a few different ways and step up for her team when she's needed to. She's got the experience, she's got the IQ, and they're going to need her.
I mean, that's Takada's, I think she's taken 2 shots. And often she's guarded by Shu Han. And so as Akohi did, if Shu Han's not going to get out the keyway, they will just shoot the ball. Takada can shoot the 3.
And that's the thing, if Okoye's on the court and Han Shu needs to guard her, well, she will have to draw her out. And if she draws her out, then that leaves the keyway wide open for a quick skip pass and penetration. Or if the shot goes up and misses, she's not in there for the rebounds.
Well, there's the courtside 1891 app. Download from that QR code. Take a picture of it, download it from your normal source, and get all the information on all the games internationally, club and country. Worth a look. China, first look. Shu Han wants, they go, and then they're going to give it to her in the low. Great help by Maruli. Shu Han for 3 is nailed from deep. She does it all.
That was such a quick shot. You know, normally you would say she needs a bit of time and space, but she just caught and shot that.
Maruli tries to answer with 3 of her own. That's long. And China, end of the first and the beginning of the second, in a nice rhythm. They'll take the early screen. Moon Lee. They're going to go inside again. Why not? And Shu Han taking over this Asia Cup, and a turnover. China with lots of momentum, all building at the start of this second quarter. Lee has it, puts it on the floor with Wang. Now she picks it up in all the wrong places. Lee with 7 on the possession. Shu Han with a pick, she'll dive. Just patient. She has the first 7 points of the second quarter, and China open it out 24-17 on the back of the superstar. Shu Han, timeout, Japan.
Japan just have to talk about how they're going to play that high pick and roll. They can't afford to switch it. They're too smart to roll in there and get the ball in the air and not have a chance. Let's hear what he has to say.
やっぱりさ、こうプレッシャーかけるのに勇気いるじゃん。だからその勇気出してしっかり足元入り続ける。OK。それを続けてやっていく中で流れ掴んでいこう。OK ね。オフェンスチェストから。OK。
My Japanese is not that good, but it's for me it was one of those timeouts that says, well, we've got to stop that momentum, if nothing else. He's asked them to run his chest play as such in the next timeout, but
interestingly, you think across the course of this tournament, and Japan really have not had any close games. They haven't been tested, whereas the Chinese team, well, they went into overtime in one of their games, so they've had to, you know, weather the storm at times and come back and play close games. So that might hold them in good stead if this is a close game, as it's certainly looking like being.
Well, there she is, Shu Han, 13 points already, 7 of those in the last minute or so of this second quarter. One thing for sure, Japan won't change the way Japan play. They're just going to have to use something to make it life tough for her. Yamamoto Okoye will reposition and pop wide open. Can't make it, and Xu Han got all the way out to challenge the shot. Ming Lee, you don't have to throw it that high. And Xu Han saying, make the pass to the wing. It's a much easier angle. You saw her telling her, just make the extra pass. Ming Lee's gonna sit. She's replaced by Sinyo Liu. Yamamoto in the half court. Ming Lee outside, gets it back to Yamamoto. Takada moves it on. Kyle down the lane, protects it for two, and looked at Xu Han and said, you're not getting this, protected it, kissed it off the glass.
Well, Akaho was the MVP of the last tournament in 2021, so she's got the experience.
Takada's come back to guard Xu Han. Lee with the floater for two. And Lee has been exceptional coming into the game off the bench.
That's not easy, absorbing that bump in the air and staying on balance enough to finish that shot.
Takada will get Yamamoto. Takada's gonna pick and pop and try and jag the defense out. Now she has a mismatch. Down the lane for two. Heads up, smart play. Referee stopped it with a little bit of debris on the court, just a bit of paper, I think, of some sort. But Takada comes back into the game and just settles the Japanese ship. 5-point game. Wang puts it on the floor. Lee outside. Xu Han around the circle. Well, the option was there, just didn't execute the pass. And you can see the reaction for Xu Han. And I like seeing her reactions. This Chinese team, the more emotion they play with, the better they play.
Well, Japan are looking to double her at any opportunity, and good movement off the ball. They just didn't execute that pass.
Yamamoto finds Takada, will hand it off. That's a foul right in front of us by Lee. Only. Substitutions coming in off the Chinese bench as Song Gao will check back in. And Xu Han gets a break. Interesting to see how long for, and interesting to see. I don't think Japan will change. They just don't have to worry about someone shot blocking as much.
I don't think they'll change either.
Oh, how quick was that? Miyazaki takes advantage of no Xu Han to challenge the shot and just blows by to the hoop. Little horns type set for China. The handoff for Lee. In the lane, into the corner, Lee, feet set for three, is off. Takada rips it down. Miyazaki in transition. At pace. Takada will go back and look to post. Miyazaki finds Muli. Muli puts it on the floor, a little crossover. And again, tries to go to work, leans back for two, and took a tough one when there was possibly something easier available. Wang, nice pass, super pass, and they blow the little layup for Gale. Kaho looking to penetrate. Will have to bring it out. Muli's the reverse. Hayashi needs a pass. Miyazaki gives her an option in the corner. 8 on the possession. Turns the corner, gets to the keyway, stops. Second move for two, doesn't get it to go. Lee shows a handle. Strong blows the layup. And for all the quality, it's just rushing China without Xu Han on the floor. They've had They've had great looks. As we see the super Miyazaki penetration, they've had so many good looks, but they just speed it up.
Well, Japan continue to play their 5-out offense, which is constant ball and player movement. That last time they just had an open shot, but just couldn't finish it. And we see Muwali sitting down right now. I thought maybe she forced that last shot. That's not the style that they play. They usually just keep making that extra pass.
Yeah, too many dribbles almost, wasn't there, to get there. Rashta is in the game. Okoye puts it on the floor, goes hard, is fouled, and will go to the free throw line. And I know it's something you say, but the quick catch and go.
Well, Okoye, I think, liked her chance of penetrating in there. And as we said, with Han Shu sitting on the bench, she's not afraid of getting blocked.
Okoye makes the first, and that 7-0 run at the start of the second quarter on the back of Shuhan. Japan unpicking the damage at the moment. Gets it to a 1-point game. has been answered by a 6-0 run.
Look at the pressure on the ball. Every single time there's a catch, somebody's tracing it, they're out there.
And they rush to 2 again. Defensive rebound, and here they come again, Japan, in transition. In the corner, Rashta for 3 is no good. Ball finds its way down to Wang, who pushes. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It's just so noticeable that when Japan run, 5 people just go. China going in 1s and 2s.
And the thing for Japan is they want to keep doing this. It may not show up now, but come the 4th quarter, that's when it could pay dividends if they just keep this relentless running pressure up. Great 3-way switch there. Really aggressive. They switched on that screen, but there would have been a mismatch, so it was a 3-way switch.
And you see that Okoye just talking it through on the replay. It's not just quickness, it's technically proficient quickness. It's just so impressive to watch. Penetration to the layup for 2 is good. Timeout for China. As Hoshi gets all the way to the ring for 2. And Japan, a 10-2 run to answer the 7-0 run, gives them the 2-point lead. Chinese timeout.
全是激动，咱不会打激动，明白吗？就是完了这一次进攻做一次5，啊，做一次5，那个一定要到位置啊，那个身体下来，对吧？身体先下来，对吧？完了那个旭先去掩护，对吧？完了你利用掩护走，太着急自己打了，现在是完了下去，完了出来，完了再看，没有。 完了，你再去给他2打2嘛，在那个边上啊。
And those issues that Japan were having scoring from the 2-point range since Shu Han has stepped down, they've got to the bucket and scored. They're back over 40%. And in the same way you were talking about the 40-minute effect, that's how they've got to look for Shu Han's minutes, right? They can't expect her to go to 40.
They can't, and we see her back on court now, as we talked about, that anytime there's that run, you know, they need to get her back on court, but it's that line of preserving her as well. It's you've got to play the game the whole time. You've got to think strategy.
Japan up the floor after the timeout, normal for them. Wang has it. Weaves away into the keyway, takes the tough one, doesn't get it to go, and that will be a Chinese basketball again. Shuhan just kept it alive. Japan couldn't secure it. Okoye knocks it out of bounds. Shuhan is the release. They hit the second side, straight out of bounds. One with nowhere to go is going to have to put this up, or someone is. They take the force three, and it's nothing. And the defense is relentless.
That was smothering. They could hardly even look where the next pass was. It was pressure on the ball, it was denial, aggressive switches.
It's almost as if they get you into a bad position. They get harder. They know that they've got a chance to turn you over. Takada, feet set for three.
As easy as anything, just a little penetration by Yamamoto, got her feet inside the key and just back to her teammate in the experienced Takada.
Yep, 13-2 after the 7-0. And Takada gets it done again. And Takada, when you need her, she's always there. Casually ties the ball up, wanders down the floor, ready to play the next play. 33 years old and using every single year of that experience.
Li Meng is back on the floor for China.
And she's a big game player, isn't she? They've got to find a way to get the best out of her. Yeah, a lot of changes. Lee comes back in, and the Express, that is Saori Miyazaki, with the basketball. She would not be a matchup that many people would want. Not. Well, you could see that, well, let's just say frustration, but disappointment that the pass didn't come off. It was just, timing was just a step too quick, as you can see, but great defense. You've got to give credit to Mong Lee there. Really did guard that back cut well. Jin into the half court, looks for an option, doesn't have one. And another turnover, and here comes Japan, and the relentless part of this defense is really, really beginning to play. Okoye steps out of bounds. That's the second time they've stepped out of bounds in this first half.
Well, they run so wide in that transition, and when it's kicked ahead and she saw Han shoot closing out to her, just right decision, but yeah, got to know exactly where you are and where that line is.
It doesn't move, does it, the line? The number of times the players step out, you think it's moving, but Jin will inbound the basketball. The release pressure from Young. Lee into the half court. Bong Lee. Shuhan has it. Going against Takada. Turnaround jump shot is long. And just having that little bit more experience forced her away from the basket. Miyazaki, how quick. Takada puts it on the floor. Looks to go strong. Gets the far side of the ring and just stops. The Chinese bench want to travel. I think that's a forlorn hope. Big, big run here for Japan. They've got to find a way to stop it. Mong Lee doesn't get the 2-footer to drop, and here comes Japan again. Miyazaki puts it on the floor. Takada thinks about it, puts it on the floor, left hand this time, stops, second move, needs a pass, finds one. Still 10 on the possession. Motohashi, little floater in the lane, doesn't get it to go. Shuhan with a defensive rebound, and China hanging on here. This scoring drought has been going for a very long time now. Nice pass, easy layup. They've blown another one.
Just can't afford to miss those shots like that normally you would make in just such a close game.
It's just the pace. Hashi for three! Exclamation mark. And China have used both timeouts. They used them quite early. I've got to just sit through the pain. 35-26, foul, mid-court. That's the first foul for Japan in the second half. When you're that quick, you don't have to reach. Miyazaki will sit down, and Yamamoto gives it a thumbs up coming in.
We saw that replay of Takada, and she's so cagey, and then that three-point shot there, but she knew that if she went all the way, she was going to get blocked, so she just stopped, got her in the air, and looked like a nice, easy finish.
Todo's checking in. And Hayashi, after making the three, steps out. Well, they went 7-0 at the start of this quarter to China. And since then, it's an 18-2 run. Meng Lee. Great defense. That is out of the book, but whether it's out of the book or not, you've got to be that quick to do it.
Well, it was such great anticipation, knowing that the angle of the pass was going to come from the wind, so anticipating that and getting in front was incredible.
Kyle does it at both ends. As you said, MVP of the last Women's Asia Cup. Both ends of the floor, just absolute quality. Young. Meng Lee is blocked. Akayo gets the block, and here come China again. They're going to hold for the last shot. Yamamoto, 7 on the quarter. Takada for 3 is off. Mooley gets it. No foul on the play. And Mooley asks, and I have a lot of sympathy with it. The only reason it can't be a foul is that the time expired. Well, we've reached halftime. Japan, 35-26, and let's just repeat. They went 7-0 at the start of that half, 18-2 in that quarter after the first 3 minutes. Tremendous turnaround by Japan. What an effort.
Such an adjustment to have that, you know, not take a backward step or panic or anything, but to go to the reverse and just take control of the game.
Well, China, no free throws, tells you a lot. Everything else, China just can't make a three.
Rebounds pretty equal. Both teams, I think China, they've got that 10 turnovers, and that's purely the pressure and the speed that Japan is playing at and forcing them into those errors.
Well, after we said that Takada had a quiet tournament offensively at the half, in the final, she leads all Japanese scorers with 10. And the question for you, Laurie, is it because China in that drought had so many easy looks, close to the basket looks? Is it just the speed they're being asked to play at?
Well, I think it's the speed and just the speed of the game and the pressure of the situation. This is a gold medal game that we're playing in, and those shots that normally you're pretty comfortable with all of a sudden take on a whole different dimension. But Akaho, hasn't she been impressive with it? You can just see that fending off Han Shu, and then some of the defensive work that she's done.
Well, Lee came into the game. That 2 you saw there was the only 2 points they scored after the 7-0 run. And then there's that dilemma, isn't there? They took Shu Han out when they'd built that. They had those 7 points, and that was all her 7 points. She came back, but the tone had already been set while she'd been off the floor.
The other thing that's so impressive with Japan, as well as we see that shot from Takada, just so controlled, is that it doesn't matter who is on the court. They subbed 5 at a time, and you could not tell anything different. The pressure was the same. The way they played their 5 out, coming off screen, shooting, feet set, exactly the same. Nothing changes. They are so well drilled and so confident in what they're doing.
Well, the Japanese and Chinese flags side by side. Their teams are side by side going at it in this final. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for the second half. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
Unique character. Unique chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Wow, downtown three is good. Castillo was halfway down the Olympic Boulevard on that one.
Picks up the dribble. Rochi. Shot clock to red numbers. The penetration. She's rejected. Great defensive play from Han Shu, who leads the competition in block shots, unsurprisingly.
Super pass, super cut, great block. McGoldrick came from the weak side and read it really well. She did not get caught on her heels. McGoldrick. Walker, who handles it in that type really well, and one.
She is somebody that they need to rely on to get points on the board.
On in the break. Park Ji-soo with a little alley-oop. Timing on the pass by Kim Dan-bi was just exceptional. Blocked, unceremoniously blocked. Read it, and Clarine just said, no, you're not getting 2 feet and getting it away. Just slapped it out of bounds. Miyazaki pushes and pushes quickly. Mooley in the corner for three, and one.
See, that was just such smart, high basketball IQ.
Oh, Tamilo, who's chasing it down. The 18-year-old gives it up. Should be an easy two. Gives it back.
Nice play by New Zealand.
And Tamilo will be thinking, what's hard about this? Why were my teammates struggling so much? Comes out and just blocks it and runs and gets the two.
Good defense from the Australian captain, Han Shu. Finishing touches on the buzzer. What a play from China. They grabbed the lead right on the halftime buzzer. It was well prepared.
Yeah, they challenge you on every possession. Beck falls, and that's going to be on a highlight. Super move, got her on the back foot, pulled up, pulled the trigger. Welcome back to Sydney. We're at half-time of the Women's Asia Cup final. And there you got the game leaders, and Han with rebounds and points leads China. And we were just talking here, it was a 18-2 run that saw the 9-point lead after a 7-0 start to that second quarter. But what can China do, Laurie? We're struggling ourselves there, sitting there going, well, how can they slow this team down? But they've got to come up with some answers.
Well, they certainly, you know, they need to again concentrate on sending them away from the three, running them off the three-point line. Japan right now are shooting it at 42% still, and they're feeling, as the game progresses, more and more comfortable. So they've got to make some sort of change. How they do that, you know, leave Han in the middle, force them off the three-point line into pull-up jump shots. If it misses, Han Shu's there to get the rebound. I'm not sure. That's a real good question for the coach.
Well, that's why coaches are in the seats they're in, and we're in the seats we're in. And
well, I love the fact that Japan, during that run by China, they were able to make that adjustment. They didn't sort of get into a hole. They didn't panic. They hadn't been in that position before the whole tournament, but they just knew straight away. They kept playing the same way, but knew what to do to make that minor adjustment, so that they certainly, when Han Shu went off the court, that was a big bonus for them.
And even then, though, China had good looks. They got to the basket 3 or 4 times where in normal circumstances you'd expect them to make them, and they just came up empty.
I don't think that can be a tired factor, because, you know, both teams have played the same amount of games. You know, it's a gold medal game. I think you're right, though. I think that Han Shu will have to really virtually play the full. She's only sat 3 minutes right now, but I think she's going to have to play the full time, because they need her. They need to get the ball into her, get the ball in the air, get her in a position where she can catch it and just turn and score straight away.
Yeah. Even if you're China, though, this Japanese team can speed you up, and it's just, you're out of your comfort zone. You're not really playing in the areas you're used to playing in.
But what a great display of women's basketball.
Oh.
This final, this gold medal game for the FIBA Women's Asia Cup here in Sydney has just been showcasing the athleticism, the IQ. I love the IQ of these athletes and what they're doing out there, and the way they're performing on the big stage is absolute testament to them, their coaches, and their federations.
Well, we've mentioned this a number of times. 4 of the top 12 teams in women's basketball by the Nike FIBA rankings are at this tournament. And silver medalists at the Olympics, silver medalists and bronze medalists at the World Cup. This region is producing some real talent. And for me, as you said, it's a great example, but this Japanese team is like, it should be a magnet for this game. They're just a role model type team. Anybody can try and play this way. Watching this team play at speed will put people in the arenas, as they have done here, and it's pretty much a sellout crowd here for this final. Well, here we go. China just got to regroup after that second quarter. Down 9, 35-26, Japan lead it. China have possession of the basketball. And Wang gets them into the half court. Shu Han will step to the three-point line. Doesn't get a look. There she is, mid-range. The 2 is good.
She has got a really quick release, that mid-range shot, or the 3. She's got a quick release, and she's so tall, and so you just can't defend that.
Never thinks about bringing it down. Here's Takada. Hayashi gets it off to Imamoto, thinks about it. Takada wide open for 3 is off.
And that's what China need. They've come up with a score now and a stop. If they can get a good score here, that'll really set them up.
Muli puts it on the floor. No real options though. Got one down low. The turnaround jump shot is sweet. Sweet. From Xu Han. Opens with the first 4 points. Yamamoto backs it out. Now she'll go against the big. Far side of the ring. Got the shot, but Xu Han made her change it. Mung Lee going baseline is blocked. They're going to wipe that off. But as you said, it's in her hands and gone. Crowd don't like the call. I think the call was perfect. They're going sideline though, even though it was by the edge of the keyway, down low. But Yin will inbound the basketball. They go long to Wong, who's just chased Yamamoto all over her. Puts it on the floor. Xu Han.
Wow. She is taking over this game, and it's not as you would expect from inside and little hook shots. It is from mid-range and outside.
Yamamoto, little deja vu moment, really like the start of the second. Yamamoto fills it up for the first time tonight.
What a good answer from Yamamoto. She was under a lot of pressure there. Defender coming right behind her. No fear at pulling up.
Straight on the defensive end as well. China into the half court. Xu Han turns it over. Gonna get a look at the three. Takada had to help. It's one of those, do you help from the same side, one pass away? And some coaches would say no. Takada caught in the keyway. Xu Han just nailed the three. Yamamoto. Takada will hand it off. It's just quick. Turns the corner. Doesn't get the layup. Great defensive effort by Jin.
We talked about China missing a few easy ones in the first half. Well, they're not missing those.
It's a super response to China by China at the start of this second half. They've closed it to a 3-point game. Yamamoto. Mooley puts it on the floor, goes hard, gets stopped, makes a second move, goes out of bounds, and with 9 seconds on the possession, Japan will have a baseline possession.
China have done a good job of restricting Muali and what she can do out there, and we see her stepping off the floor right now, and number 99, Okaya, coming into the court.
She looks a little frustrated while Mali sits down. Coach is trying to be really positive with her. Takada. Extra pass. Akoli knocks the three down.
And that's why they bring her on the court. She can come on and be instant offense for them.
Sitting down, get up. I'm on the 3-point line, I'll knock it down. Restores some of the lead. 6 points. Japan have this. Wang spins, scoops one up, gets the drop. And Japan straight back at it. Akayo. Takada will move it on. The early three is long, but Hayashi won't change it, won't back down from that shot. Wang tied up, needs a pass. Xu Han is the player who comes available. Xu Han will look to screen, and now she'll try and roll. Mung Lee knocks down the three.
That is massive. There was a hand right in her face. They've got all the momentum right now, China.
Little two-man game with Mung Lee and Xu Han. That could be one of the answers. Yamamoto gets it to Okogi. Okogi again, pick and pops. Puts it on the floor this time. Spins, second move, scoops the shot up. Great defensive effort by Pun. It'll be a reaching foul. Su Yu Wang's doing a super job at the start of this second half. Scoops it up, and then your superstar gets going. Mung Lee. Well, we talk about big games and big players. None bigger than this. None bigger than her.
I'd have to say this is the most emotion I've seen China play with the entire tournament.
Xu Han hands it. Plenty of time on the clock. She'll pick, and now she'll dive inside out. Take her off the three-point line. 1 for 2 is good. And China trailed by 9 4.5 minutes ago. They lead it by 1. What an answer at the start of the second half. And the crowd and the team emotionally are right in this game. That's a 16-6 start to this second half.
OK 絶対削っていくんだってそこ忘れたそれが俺らの強さだ OK そこは一回やり直すよでオフェンスはシステムやっていくんだけどカウンター1対1が一番強いからそこをしっかり取りドリブル長くしたりしないからねさせないように受けて次のシステム入っていくまた次のチャンス取りに行くやり直すよ OK
Well, Xu Han has 20. We're 14 minutes in the game. She has 20 and 7. When she's on the floor, they're +7. All the answers that, will she have to play the whole game? Yes, I think.
Yes, I think she will.
Is she going to be able to carry the load? Well, the answer at the moment is yes, she is. But the great thing is, in particular, in that phase of play, Xiyu Wang was just incredible at the point.
She was.
Just, that's what she needs. She needs the supporting cast around her, and they've come to play in this second half. Yamamoto still on the floor with the basketball. Akayo, who's been quiet, hasn't seen the basketball. Takada will hand it off. Yamamoto, 8 on the clock. It's a great series this by China. Takada for 3. Why not? Who do you go to when you need something? You go to your experience. Takada knocks down the 3, re-establishes the lead.
Great full court pressure there, almost a steal from Hoshi.
And they're staying up the floor. The answer most of the time for Japan is just play quicker and harder and further up the floor defensively. Wang again beats the pressure. Now she'll back it out. Nice pass. Super finish.
I mean, she had to finish it, but you have to give full credit to Wang Su-yu and just the way she's handling the ball and her incredible IQ and decision-making.
Yamamoto had the chance perhaps to go, but was worried about the shot being blocked. Okoye goes to the right hand, throws up a tough one, doesn't get it to drop. And why wouldn't you expect Xu Han to be all over the glass? She's at the trowel. Mung Lee will come off the ball screen, looks inside. They're all over Xu Han down low. Great penetration to the ring, foul on the play. Ru Yong just went to work. Draws the foul, will go to the free throw line. Substitutions coming in for Japan.
Takada's up to 15 points now. We can see both teams making some subs. They want to keep this pressure on. They want to keep the intensity up. Number 8, Jin's coming to the court, replacing superstar Wang Su-yu.
Ru Yong goes 2 for 2 from the line. China lead it by 2. And this is Xu Han rest time. The last time she went out, all hell broke loose, as in a 18-2 run. She was back for the second part of that. Ohio outside. has a matchup she might want to go at. Takada will pass and screen. Down the lane, Takada with not a lot of time. He's going to have to put this up. Steps back for a tough one, doesn't get it to go. Ayayo and Muli between them keep it alive. Zaki reverses the basketball. Stephanie Muli moves it on. And one. How quick is Sayuri Miyazaki?
She just, and look at that smile on her face. She loves the fact that she got all of the way to the basket.
Big time slap across her arm. She makes the play. And she has the opportunity to restore Japan's lead.
And they'll look to do that. They'll look to penetrate with Hanshu sitting on the bench. They're going to try and take advantage of that. And if anybody's there, then they can kick it out to their three-point shooters.
They show pressure up the floor. Miyazaki guarding Lee. Lee advances it. That was a really nice job. They take the early shot themselves, China. Great rebound. Again, Ru Yong does a job on the glass. Super pass, extra. Moon Lee attacks it down the middle. Foul line jump shot is good.
Wow. This is such amazing basketball because that was good rotation by Japan. They had 1, 2, 3, and Lee Mong was still able to get a shot off.
Mooley reverses the ball. Down the lane for two is good. Super turn into the corner. Hoshi just turned the corner and went. Pace of game. Lee off the glass. Doesn't get it to go. Ru Yong again on the boards. She is just a rebound machine. Lee attacks the closeout and Takada fouls her. That'll be the 14th foul for Japan. And that's the biggest indicator you can get. The pressure that China are putting them on have got Japan into the penalty, which is something that has rarely happened in this tournament. They're being forced to play defense right now.
So they've got, which they don't have often on, Yamamoto and Miyazaki on at the same time. So talk about speed.
Wow, yeah. Moon Lee gets it off, gets it back. Lee step back three is no good. Another offensive rebound, and they are going to the glass so hard at the moment, China.
That's the difference right now. They're getting these second chance opportunities.
The long two is no good, and they just ran out of ideas on that possession. Huan Lee. 49-48, 2:09 to go in the third. This is the Asia Cup here in Sydney.
And it is living up to all the expectations that we had between these two fierce rivals.
Yamamoto will change the side. Now they're going to try and open the middle. Mooley will, Yamamoto stops, pops, and everything but fell that one. Lee pushes. Moon Lee, great rip through. Ahaho D's it up, the double team comes. The short two is no good. Moon Lee's on the glass. What a rebound, goes back up, is short. Ahaho pulls the rebound and the foul.
Well, that's something that Japan are just going to have to focus on a little bit, is that blocking out and not allowing China to come up with some second chance opportunities. They sort of got let off the hook that time.
Rashatak comes in.
As does the superstar, Hanshu.
Crowd just get lifted as soon as she stands up to come into the game.
That's right.
49-48, 1:32 to go in the third. Yamamoto has had some unbelievable nights here in Sydney. You just expect her to make everything she takes. Kosi is short, wasn't expecting the short. Japan chase it down. Yamamoto goes to 7 on the possession. They're going to leave her alone. No second invitation needed, doesn't get the drop. Super rebound again, and China are just doing a job on the glass. Put them with a rebound that time. Hong Lee into the half court, and they turn it over. Straight down the floor at speed. Mooley on the trowel, attacks it, backs it out. In the half court. Ashita getting Yamamoto for two is good. And if they get a step, they've gone. Moon Lee gets it down the floor. Lee has it.
I think Lee's done a relatively good job on her, but when she breaks free, I mean, we're talking two players that are ultra quick and ultra talented.
It's about an 8-second differential. Moon Lee, surely she does get a touch. Great defense by Moon Lee. Super effort to come over the top. Lost the contact, knocked it out of bounds, and with 4.7 seconds on the clock, subs coming in. Aho and Toto check in. Rashita checks out. 4.7. Why not? Can't get the quick release. Hunted down. And Japan have 8 seconds. Yamamoto goes inside. Little floater for two. Doesn't get the drop. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Japan have just about withstood that comeback from China in that third quarter. They led by 9 going into it. They lead 51-48 after 3. This is a super Women's Asia Cup final. 10 minutes away from deciding who gets the win.
This is the type of game we've come to expect between these two teams. It's fierce, it's fast, it's athletic. Neither team have gone to the free throw line much. There's not been a lot of fouling called, and there's you know, a lot of outside shooting, but their finishes inside have been good as well.
Well, we're going to get the best plays of the third quarter, and at the start of the third quarter, there's only one team playing. And again, Xu Han just got herself in a rhythm.
That is a tough shot by Yamamoto, just with that defense closing in, but good recognition by Takada. Again, she's made some really smart decisions. And Okaye just stepped on the court. That was her first touch. Thank you very much.
It wasn't as if China changed anything tactically as such. They just really went to the offensive boards hard. That was really a huge difference.
Absolutely. There were a few times there where they got 2-3 chance opportunities, and Japan just can't afford that for them. They've got to block out, because we know if they can secure a good rebound, that's when they play their best game, because they run, they get out, they push on the break.
Well, start of the fourth quarter. As you see the court side 1891 QR code there in the corner. Picture it and sign up for that application. Meanwhile, Japan, Takada outside, will hand it off. Yamamoto tries to turn the corner. Mui, this is the starting lineup that Japan started the game with. Takada puts it on the floor, stops, thinks about it. Now she needs a pass with 3 seconds. Mooley steps to the side, can't get it to go. Aiho's on the glass. What a rebound. What a rebound by Akaho. She had no right to get that. Yamamoto drops it off to Takada. It's blocked.
And that was just that little extra effort by Han Shu, just closing out that little bit longer, because Takada has been influential from the three-point line.
Shuham hands, there's a foul on the sideline to Carter, and Moon Lee right in front of us. I think it was a knee-on-knee type. I'm not sure she rolled it. Let's take a look. I think it was more of a knee-on-knee thing. So painful, very painful. China on the wrong end of a three-point margin. Takada's third foul. Down the middle for the easy two. Super decision by Wang, who's had a scintillating second half. China can't get back quick enough. And again, Akayo, whose basketball IQ is off the charts. And they just forgot about Wang on this play. Just simply forgot about it down the lane.
Well, I think that's the problem, or not. You know, the issue is when it's Han Shu setting that screen. You've got so much attention on her as she's rolling and doubling that, you know, she had a clear driving lane to the basket. I can't pick this game right now. This is going to come right down to the wire.
Kai goes 2 for 2 from the line. 3-point lead restored. Lee gets it into the half court, got a whistle on the play. It's a back call. I won't mind seeing that again because no one seems to be too animated about it. If it is what it is, a back call, that's a crazy time to make that mistake. Let's have a look. Uli, Yamamoto.
Lee Yuan is doing an excellent job of guarding Yamamoto. She's making her life really difficult. She's so quick herself.
Uli gets away, the little lean back for two, which we say it's a bit trademark for her, but she hasn't had it going, but with under 3 seconds on the possession, got it away and knocks it down. Nice pass.
Nice.
Oh, super action off the high post cut.
Just used her body. Wang Suyu got her position and finished strongly. And there we see Akaho.
Lee keeps it alive. Chance to run again. Wang and Lee, and it really looks the best option for China. Those two in the backcourt. Lee hands it off. Mung Lee. She was wide open. They turn her down. Lee outside, 3 on the clock. Foul line jump shot is no good. And Takada cleans up the mess on the glass.
That was good defense by Japan, just forcing China to make some decisions. Do we pass it in? Do we skip the ball?
Yamamoto way off. Defensive rebound and push by Wang at speed. 3 on 2 here. They're going to call a blocking foul. She'll go to the line for 2 throws. But while we're watching Mooney make that fadeaway, I'll just say that again. China had a 3 on 2. I don't think I've seen Japan outnumbered in transition this whole tournament.
Well, I think that could be because 2 players tripped over each other at the center line.
But they're pushing
they're
really.
They're not slowing down one little bit. We have to remember this is the 4th quarter of a game that has been up and down at tempo.
Yep. So Wang on the free throw line makes the first. Chance to make this a 1-point game with 7:12 to go. It's another Japan-China classic here. 2 for 2. And Yamamoto extended minutes in this second half. Coach obviously likes Yamamoto when the chips are down, so to speak. Mooley gets a soft touch.
Just a nice little friendly roll, user-friendly roll there for Muwali.
Just caught it in the rhythm of the pass, straight up, nice touch. Lee for 3, short. That's a rebound. That's great work on the glass. It's a battle out there. Okoye gets it to Imamoto. Mooley's feeling it after that last one. Great rebound. Akayo again just knows what to do and when to do it. Yamamoto, Okoye on the pick and pop was guarded. Oh! Be an interesting look. Great decision though. She had a sealed on that side. Here's the turnaround on the baseline in the action of the pass. Caught it, went straight up.
She's certainly getting involved in a lot more action, Mawoli.
That's just a straight hold. No attempt to play the basketball at all, just pulled her down. Izaki. Ayo with 4 on the clock. She's gonna have to create something herself here. Takes the tough pull-up, doesn't get it to drop. Moon Lee gives it up, lead pass. Lee for 2 is no good. And they're gonna have 5-on-4 here because Lee's just picking herself up off the floor. Tough one in the lane. And Japan used the extra person to get the rebound. Miyazaki has it out top. Just 4 on the possession. You have to put it up. Miyazaki steps back for 3. Oh, the window off the glass. No time on the possession. Miyazaki gets her feet set. The bank is open on Sunday afternoon here in Sydney. No time on the clock. Still has the composure to get set and kiss it off the window. 60-54, 5:36 to go. Have China got the answers, or are they going to come up short once again in the Women's Asia Cup? Let's take a listen.
完了出来接球，你的和含蓄的，或者含蓄的，就是那个没关系哈，快点对人，对吧？把该打进的球把它那个打进去啊，没关系，来再来，
Well, Han Su-yu, Han Shu, she leads all scorers with 22 points, but she's sort of, I like how Japan are drawing her out on offense so that she's not an influence to get the rebound, so that they're able to rebound and run.
Well, she's back in the game now with 5:35 to go. Here's Lee. Can't say enough good things about this Chinese backcourt today.
She's been great.
Moon Lee, feet set for 3. Oh my word, out of the timeout. Signals to the fans, it's a 3. Closes it to a 3-point game. Miyazaki puts it on the floor. Speed, oh, and it was just too long. Moon Lee having made the last 3. They look inside, Wang for 3. Back-to-back threes out of the timeout. 4:51 to go. We've got a new ball game. We've got an arena on its feet. Timeout, Japan. Well, the answer to the question, have they got enough answers, is clearly yes.
Well, Lee Mon come off of that little pin down screen, ready to shoot it, and then in the next play, Han Shu was attracting so much attention, it left Wang Su-yu just wide open, and she didn't hesitate to nail that shot.
さっき話した通り、ゴーストのところしっかり読み合いをできるようにする。だけど基本トランジションいけたら行くけど、行けなかったらチェストからワンプレー取りに行く。でカウンター1対1狙えるから。 トップしたこのビッグマンのアタックを強くするっていうところを意識的にして、でそこからダイブしてスコアスプレーを取れるか、OK ね、そこ取りに行く。でディフェンスはもう41でとにかく削っていくね、OK。残り5分いこう。
Well, you always expect to see that high bench points from Japan. 20 points compared to the 9 for China. It's not a shock. That's the way it's going to be. 4:51 in the fourth. We're tied at 60. Japan will have the basketball after the timeout. Japan only have the one timeout left. China still have two. The Women's Asia Cup comes down to a 4:51 shootout at 60 apiece. Takada's back in the game, obviously. Starting lineup for Japan back on the floor. Muli, Yamamoto. Takada already at 5. They're gonna have to make something happen here again. Akayo, it's gonna have to be her. No. Can't get the time, and that is not what you want coming out of the timeout.
No, not great shot clock recognition at all, and you rarely see that from Japan.
And they almost had no idea for the first time. The ball got slow. Is it China that have worn Japan down? Here's Lee. Yamamoto guards her. Lee gets it back. It's at the hand. Wuzang on the... and just bailed out to an extent by the Muli football. Just caught her foot as she took the fake.
So they reset the shot clock to 14 when there's a foot violation.
Shuhan is just open or not open. She's attracting attention on every single possession. Zhang on the post, doesn't get it. Meng Lee stops, pops, nails the three. 3 threes in a row. A 9-0 run for China. Muli throws it out of bounds. And China have possession. 63-60 with 3:40 to go.
China not only have possession, they have the momentum all their way right now. They've got this crowd behind them, score lines behind them.
Shuhan moves it on. Meng Lee goes down in the block. Shuhan, great help by Muli, just about skips it. Great decision to attack by Wan, can't get it to drop, but on the glass. Shuhan with the putback. Shuhan with another offensive rebound and score. Takada hands it off, Yamamoto. Little acceleration, needs a pass, finds one. Muli, Takada on the inside, she goes out from the halfway line. The beep three is no good. Muli's gonna get the offensive rebound, foul on the play.
Well, whilst they got a shot up, it was near the end of the shot clock. It doesn't look anywhere near as comfortable as the shots that were coming earlier in the game. China are doing a wonderful job of defending, getting up and in, and taking away their options.
Takada turned down a 2-footer because she thought she'd be blocked. 14-second reset, got to get it in. 5-second call. Chinese defense is at another level. Still pretty much 3 minutes to go. It's only a 5-point game. China just have to keep doing what they've been doing.
And does Japan see that dream of it getting 6 titles in a row? It's fading away right now, although there's still lots of time left.
Turnover. The way Japan always answer the question. Yamamoto. Takada thinks about the three, puts it on the floor hard, goes off the glass. Can't get it to drop.
Indecision is creeping in now. There were a couple of opportunities there.
Lee advances the basketball. Meng Lee.
If they score here, it's going to be tough to come back.
Gets it back. Meng Lee thinks about it, attacks it down the lane. A whistle on the play. They're going to go 2 shots for Meng Lee. Foul on Ahaho on the penetration. Meng Lee has a chance to make this a 3-possession game with 2:17 to go. And we said right from the start, big game, big player. The two things go together in exactly what she is. Steps to the line. Huge 3 throws. never looked in doubt. 6-point game.
Well, we know how quickly Japan can score right now. It's 2 threes. She makes this, that's a 3-possession game.
17 points to the good when she's been on the floor, but misses it. Still a 2-possession game. An eternity left in the game. Miyazaki and Yamamoto in the game together. They've got to go quicker than, they can't spend too much time with the ball. Nice pass, easy 2, and 1.
And 1.
Well, it's the play they ran before when they got disappointed that the pass was thrown out of bounds. And the team that lives on the 3-point line went backdoor for the layup and get the and 1. Super control on the finish by Ayashi. And completes the 3-point play. 2:02 to go, and a 3-point game, and Japan are up the floor. Wang has it. Miyazaki's guarding her. Young, another turnover. Miyazaki. Ayashi for 3. Got it!
Oh my goodness!
New ball game, 1:47 to go. And just when you thought China had put themselves in a position to control the game, back-to-back turnovers, back-to-back 3-point plays. And we're tied at 66 with 1:47 to go. No second thought about the 3 at all.
Talk about nerves of steel, Haashi. And that's the way they play, and that's why they can turn a game around like this. 66 all with less than 2 minutes to play.
Well, let's get into that timeout and find out how China are feeling about it.
前场球，完了那个李媛，是吧？完了你在这儿啊，那个，不是1分多钟吗？暂停吗？不是，那个我们就往前场，完了出来，对吧？他可能会，你要从后面出来，他可能会被错位，这个球可能就防到这里，是吧？这个给李梦去做掩护，李梦出来，这个球看着防到这儿，因为他现在刚才一直在封这儿，防到这儿的时候，这个反跑，完了看看找旭旭啊，拿住球没看准出传。
What a great game to be involved in. You know, the score line, the way it's being played, the crowd, the energy.
Well, China will advance the basketball. Both teams have 1 timeout left. Japan still have 1 foul to give. And we have a 14-second reset, and we're tied at 66. Wang will inbound the basketball. They deny Lee. Shu Han is the release. She was always going to be available, recognized the problem. And they've turned it over again. 3 consecutive turnovers for China, and Japan have a chance to lead it. Yamamoto. Ayashi thinks about the 3. They're going to go offensive foul. Big call. Big call. Sure, we're going to get a look at it. 66 apiece, 124, turnover. Japan with the offensive foul. China struggling to get it in at times, but here's Lee. On the dribble. Comes off the pick. Yamamoto's guarding Shu Han underneath, still guarding her. And that's out of bounds with 6 on the clock. And quite rightly, Shu Han is saying, I'm guarded by Yamamoto, give me the ball.
You don't even have to really get it in the air that high, just get it to my hands.
Yao comes back in.
6 seconds on the clock.
Shuhan's got to be an option. Just lob it. There you go. Super pass, super catch, super finish. 2-point game. Yamamoto needs a pass. Akaho gets it to her. Yamamoto, Takada gets out of her way. She's going to the ring here, pulling up. Yamamoto gets the ball screen, 4 on the clock, pulls up, knocks it, no, it's long, gets her own rebound. 10 on the clock.
This is uncharacteristic, they're not moving the ball that well.
Goes off the glass, doesn't get it, but Shuhan with a rebound.
They need to just come up with one stop here.
China
will try and use most of the clock, I would think.
7-second differential, foul on the play, and they'll shoot the throws. Meng Lee will go to the free throw line. If she makes 2, it's a 2-possession game. And we keep saying it's times for big players. On the free throw line with a 2-point lead. Strokes the first. Still 17.5 seconds remain. If she makes it, you assume Japan will take the timeout. Only 1 for 2. Shuhan's got it.
Oh, she's got it. They don't
and
need
that
a
may
score
be
here.
It. And there's a foul on the play. Quick foul by Hayashi.
She makes one of these 2, then it's a 2-possession game. She has to miss 2 in order for Japan to come back and try and have a 3-point shot.
Four-point game. 13.5 seconds to go. Still enough time for Japan. Makes 2. Japan will take the timeout. They trail 5, will advance the basketball. They need a score and a stop. Otherwise, China end their 5 championship streak and win their first continental title in over a decade. There's been so many twists and turns in this game. Who wouldn't bet against the 3 and a steal? That's a 45-point second quarter by China. 45 to 31. They have been dominant in phases of this second half.
Well, there's been such momentum swings both ways. One team would get up by, 7 or 8. The other team's coming back. We thought that Japan was out of it, then they tied it, and now we see the surge ahead by China with just 13.5 seconds.
They take Shuhan out of the game, I assume because they do not want to leave a wide open 3. Takada has got to put it up, takes a 1-footer, doesn't get it to go. Mooney's on the glass. The ball will stay with Japan. 7.6 seconds between China and a championship. Takada for the 2, gets it to go. They take the time. 3-point game, 6 seconds remain. You assume they'll advance the basketball.
Well, the only scenario that could really happen for Japan is that they actually deny an inbound pass and get a steal and can go down and shoot a three.
And that's not beyond the realms of possibilities.
Yes.
Well, this is not just about Hyo-han here, because Wang has been tremendous stepping into that lead role, and her with Lee in the backcourt, and also Mung Lee with her massive contributions down the end of this fourth quarter. We said that she needed people to compliment her. Well, she's definitely had that. They're going to take it at the end line, and the argument is there's more space to play, which I can understand, but 6 seconds, if they turn it over down here, not a lot of time. If they turn it over down there, then there's a lot of time. And they have to foul. Mung Lee's just so strong when she cuts to the ball here. One will do, you think. That's the scenario here, is that one will probably do it. Mung Lee, one of the faces of Chinese basketball, one of the superstars of Chinese basketball, on the free throw line to ice the game. Makes the first. She'll want to make the second, although there is an argument to say if you miss it, there'll be less time. No, Japan have no timeouts. Mung Lee, 2 for 2, ices it. Muli gets it in, Yamamoto. He's gonna put it to Muli, takes the three, got it. It's not enough. China have won the Women's Asia Cup, their first continental title in over a decade. And how hard did they have to work for that? The defending champions went down like defending champions. Super game by Japan, but an unbelievable fourth quarter performance by China.
And as you said, and we can see them celebrating on the court, in the final scoreline, 73-71. There was a lot of support out there. That was a real team effort. Some players really stepped up when they had to. It wasn't all just about Han Shu. She was a major contributor, but isn't it great to see the joy that brings them getting that medal, gold medal?
Well, just a phenomenal achievement by China. They were close 2 years ago, and in front of a very, very big contingent of Chinese fans, they have won the Asia Cup here in Sydney.
Well, they've gone one step better than they did at the World Cup just less than 12 months ago. They're going to like playing in Sydney. They're going to want to come back again.
Second home for them.
And what a great crowd that was behind them and has been supporting them all week. And you know, you have to be happy. I mean, I feel it's a tough loss for Japan, but they have been absolutely sensational all week. And the way they play, the way their style of basketball is just a joy to watch.
Well, let's not forget, they had to come back from a disappointing World Cup. They've continued to rebuild and to refocus. And this was a game that everyone said was going to be too close to call, and it was close the whole way.
Well, I'm not sure, but I think the biggest margin might have been around 8 points. It just seesawed. back and forth, and you would think his team was surging ahead, and then the opposition would find some answers, and that came from both directions. And just quality, as we said, women's basketball.
You're pretty damn near as damn right there. It's 9 for Japan and 7 for China.
There you go.
And both teams had runs, 16-0 for Japan and 12-0 for China. I mean, in a game of that intensity, China turned it over 16, Japan only turned it over 9. You know, it's the quality of the basketball was phenomenal. The emotion for China is not only good to see, but I think makes them a better team and a better group. Can't say enough about Siru Wang, who was just incredible at the point. Wong Lee just really came up to play in the fourth quarter. Obviously, Xu Han is just a class act. She's a superstar of the women's game. It was just an incredible team performance.
And then on the other side, you've got Takada, who's been playing her role very quietly all week, has come up and stood very tall, 17 points for her. Great effort.
Well, there's a reason you bring all these staff, and it's to lead the dancing. If you watch this team practice, everybody's involved in practice. They put on practice. It's an experience that people should try and get, because it's all very well to bring a number of coaches, but when these guys work hard in every single session, it's an absolute program and team effort. And they've now got that. They've got the monkey off the back now. They've struggled to win a major championship for over a decade. They've got one. And when you get one, they normally come in bunches. So watch out the rest of the world.
Well, I hope this puts a smile on Zhang Wei's face, the coach. She's very serious. She looks intense on the sideline, but hopefully she can enjoy this, because it is a great effort. Gold medal at the Asia Cup.
Well, both teams 17 and 16 assists. They really did share the ball really well. And there's the numbers, Laurie, 26, 17, and 17. Those three just contributed.
And they needed to.
Yeah.
They couldn't just rely on Han Xu to do that. So
I think it always comes down to key moments, doesn't it? And you know, there was the 9-0, 3 threes in a row, then there's the 3 turnovers going the other way that Japan got back in it. Then there's that offensive foul on the ball screen that just broke the back of that Japanese momentum. And then they went down the floor and hit a 3 coming out of that. And it's
sorry, you just look at even the less than 5 minutes of the game. Japan had a 6-point lead, and you thought, okay, and China had a 6-point lead, and you thought, and then Japan come down and get an and-one play, make it 3-point, and then a 3-point shot. Now all of a sudden it's tied up again.
Yeah.
So those sort of moments in the game just took it to another level, the way these two teams competed.
Well, Xu Han took a 17 shot 70% from the floor. I mean, that's just an amazing return. Another double-double. I think that China, on their way to an Olympic qualifier, there's not a team, no one will want to get drawn with either of these two teams in the Olympic qualification group. Let's just take a second to remind you that the top 4 teams from this competition will be drawn across 4 qualifying groups in February. And you've seen the courtside app being advertised during the games. Those games will be available at least on that courtside app, as all international basketball is. So players are leaving the court now. They'll be getting ready for the closing ceremony, which we'll talk you through in a few moments. Gonna get some highlights of that fourth quarter, and there were plenty of those. I don't know how they're gonna choose which ones to put in.
I know, exactly.
We haven't got enough time for all those highlights.
Something that stands out, though, when I just quickly run my eye over some of the stats is...
But we're going to get straight into the presentations, and just to talk you through it, the first one will be the player of the game, and no one's going to get any prizes for this. I'm not offering a prize for the player of the game, because everyone watching this game, as well as other people, played, and there's the great support that she got. Xu Han will be the player of the game. They're just waiting for her to come out. And here she comes. And I'm basing that on the screams that are coming from the side of the arena through the entry point. I mean, just to reiterate those lines, 34 minutes. She scored 26 points on 12 from 17, 70%. Made 2 threes in that. 10 rebounds. We won't talk about the turnovers. 2 blocks. She's just had a superb time here in Sydney. If there's anyone who wants to come and live in Sydney, it will be Xu Han.
Yes, exactly. She's played some great basketball here all week.
And we're going to get into the All-Star 5. Now, the All-Star 5 for this competition will be awarded by Lorraine Landon, who's the FIBA Oceania Member of Honor. She will make these presentations, and that'll be followed by the MVP. And the first player out, not surprisingly, she's going to need extra luggage.
She had a lot of player of the games throughout the week, not just even in this game, and now All-Star 5.
And the second player on the All-Star 5 is Mei Yamamoto. Broke the hearts of the Australians in the group game, where she was just phenomenal.
Number 12, New Zealand, Penina Davidson.
And Penina Davidson makes the All-Star 5 for a performance, let's just put it down, a huge performance in game 1 against Korea that pretty much secured their Olympic qualification place. The 4th member of the All-Star 5, Meng Li. What a performance by her across the tournament.
And number 10, Australia, Alice Kunitz.
And Alex Kunitz for the host Opals makes up the All-Star 5. And as I say, a point presented by Lorraine Landon, the FIBA Oceania Member of Honor, a great servant of the game here and in the region. Alice has to go and have her picture taken with the 5. And that's a 5 you wouldn't want to play against very often. That's an incredible lineup of talent. And all 5 of those players could be at the Olympic qualifying tournaments in February. And the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. The next award is the MVP, awarded by Tissot. And this presentation will be made by Amanda Jenkins, who is the FIBA Oceania Executive Director.
MVP, number 15, China, Han Xu.
And probably the easiest decision that anyone's had to make all week.
I think from the minute she stepped on the floor, she has she's been at an MVP level.
And the crowd are yelling MVP, and makes a change in some tournaments. There's always a debate. In this Asia Cup, there is 0 debate. A just phenomenal performance, a great player on a very, very, very good team. And the future looks bright for her and for China. And now we're going to get into the medal presentation. 3rd place first, and the Medals will be awarded by Maria Nordstrom, who's the CEO of Basketball New South Wales, and John Carey, again, who's a FIBA Oceania board member. They will present the third place medals to the Australian Opals.
Third place, we congratulate Australia.
So,
number 1,
bronze medal for Australia in the World Cup, a bronze medal here in the Women's Asia Cup.
Number 4, Shyla Hill.
Shyla Hill.
Number 5, Darcy Garvin. Number 7, the captain, Tess Madgen.
And what a great comeback tournament after injury for Tess Madgen. Nearly did lead the team, in particular led them so well today. Player of the game in the third place.
In the All-Star
playoff.
5, Alice Kunik.
Alex Kunik back within the national team.
Number 17, Chantel
has played in Europe
Horvath.
for a number of seasons.
Number 21, Keely Froling.
And Keely Froling, I mean, we all think Keely Froling had a marvellous tournament, really did hold them together at times. And Ellie Maley really did again.
Number 25,
continues to
Amy
impress.
Atwell.
5 from 6 from the field today is an indication of how efficient she could be, with 11 rebounds, a double-double for her today.
Number 77, Lauren Scherf.
Lauren Scherf, the last player out.
And Australian head coach, Shannon Seabold.
And Shannon Seabold, his first national team championship thrown in at home. There's always that pressure of playing at home, but found a way to get his team into that third place and also qualifying for the Olympic qualifiers, and that was a pressure game that he had to navigate. So a tremendous outcome for Australia. Third place in the FIBA Women's Asia Cup in 2023. Medal again at a major championship. They've had great support here in Sydney. Big crowds have watched the Opals play at home.
We will now present the runner-up medals. To present the medals, we welcome Bob Elphinstone, FIBA Honorary President.
Second place medals are going to be presented by Bob Elphinstone, the FIBA Honorary President, and Amanda Jenkins, the FIBA Oceania Executive Director. And Japan were just...
Number 3, Steph Mauli. Number 8.
I mean, Laurie, this Japanese team just epitomizes the game, right? They're just a super team, a lot of stars, but they really did play well together as a group.
They did, and they certainly can hold their heads high. And yes, they'll be very disappointed that they couldn't continue their streak. They were trying to go for that 6th title, but they played great basketball. They played team basketball. They certainly came to another level from when they were here in the World Cup 9 months ago. So it's always hard as a silver medalist. You feel that loss of a gold medal game, but once they reflect on it, they should be very proud of their achievement.
Well, they're in many ways showing the world that there's different ways to play this game, and they are real role models for women's basketball as a team. Play the game with a massive smile on their face.
Number 75, Nanako Todo. Number 88, Himawari Akaho.
Himawari Akaho is last championships MVP, still getting it done. And this team is still young. Only Takada is over 30. A lot of players will be here for a long time to come, and that's just a great achievement by Coach Onizuka to turn this around from the disappointment of the World Cup.
Well, the average age is 25 years old, so, you know, when you look at how well Takada played at 33, some of these players have a lot of basketball left in them, and to stick together and to play together. You know, they'll go to that qualifying tournament now and want to be able to play in Paris, and they would be exciting to watch.
Just a tremendous performance. They just need to get their pictures taken by the media, of which there are many here for this Asia Cup Women. And we're going to get on to the presentation next, obviously to the champions, China. And the presentation for the champions will be presented by Karen Jones, who's the CEO of New South Wales Office of Sport, and David Reed, the Oceania president. And this has been a long wait for China, over a decade, and this will feel sweet.
Asia Cup 2023, China.
And China to a huge reception from this crowd.
Number 4, Li Yuan.
And Li Yuan, Laurie, we can talk about this team as they come out. Li Yuan and CRL Wang were just phenomenal in the backcourt the whole game.
They did not stop. They put so much pressure on Yamamoto and Miyazaki.
Number 6,
They really, I'm not going to say they took them out of their game, because they didn't, because I thought they continued, but it was just a great matchup, all those guards, to see the level that they played with for that full 40 minutes.
Well, Yang Li Wei couldn't play because of the injury in the semi-final, but one, she still led the team phenomenally well, but two, she was on the bench and active, and the people who came in to replace her really did step up.
Well, we talked about her during the call. Big-time player, making big-time shots. Li Meng.
Wow, this team need Li Meng. The crowd really do respond to her.
Number 12,
I thought all the players that came in played made really valuable contributions, and they needed them to, because the pace was so frenetic. You had to make subs, you had to get people involved.
Well, the biggest cheer is going to be for this superstar athlete.
And isn't she embracing it? It's really good to see.
Head coach of China, Zhang Wei.
And you can't underestimate the pressure that Zhang Wei has just taken off her shoulders.
And there she is. That's that smile we've been looking for.
Desperate to win their first championship, continental championship in over a decade, and she's the coach that's delivered it. And she'll already be thinking about where they'll go when it comes to the championship, and then after that. But now let's stand for the national anthem of the champions. There's only one more thing to do, and that's present the FIBA Women's Asia Cup trophy. David Reed, the FIBA Oceania president, has the honor of presenting the FIBA Asia Women's Asia Cup. Beautiful trophy, beautiful moment for China.
Please congratulate your FIBA Women's Asia Cup 2023 champions.
And there are China, the Asia FIBA Women's Asia Cup champions in 2023. China back on the top of the continent. Are a force in world basketball, and they are every inch worthy champions. An unbelievable final won by a great team. Everyone gets a touch, and fittingly the coach has it at the end. Zheng Wei with the trophy above her head. Hardly anyone has left this arena. Those are the pictures you will see instantly on social media. A super team with real talent, and they have a superstar in their ranks. Well, as we said during the final game, this region has 4 of the top 12 teams in the world. This is a tough trophy to win. And China have won it for the first time in over a decade. Great relationship with the fans here, Laurie. These fans love this team.
They came to every single game, and when you think of that overtime win against Korea, the crowd was crazy, and then in today's game, they were so vocal and passionate.
Well, congratulations to not just the players, but all the staff, the support staff. They have got over the line and are champions.
It does. It takes a lot of people in the background to keep the players on the court, to get them to the level that they are, and they'll all join in the celebrations.
Well, we're going to break away from these pictures to show you the fourth quarter highlights. And as you said, at one point during that fourth quarter, it was too close to call. We had no one team would get a run, then another team would get a run, and it was just really like one of those championship boxing matches, toe to toe.
But you can see there why she was in the All-Star 5,
yep.
Coming up with a big shot and another one, another pass. That combination, Li Meng to Wang Suyu, and of course you add in there Han Xu.
And she made her points really at the sharp end of the game. When they really needed to make plays, she made plays. And how did Japan get back into it? They turned them over 3 times, and then they get a 3-point play, and 3 turnovers back to back, and this 3 would tie the game.
And did not even miss a beat to think about shooting that shot. And that's the way they play, and that's why they're so successful.
But that out-of-bounds play, they only had 4 seconds on the clock. Where were they going to go? Of course they were going to go to Han Xu. And they're celebrating now. They're going to be celebrating for a while, and they should. They should take a lot of time to celebrate this, because then they'll just refocus. And as a national team, they'll be thinking about an Olympic qualifier in February, because that's the next step for this national team. Well, these pictures will be, that picture in particular, with the captain being carried off the court with the bad injury that she had. But let's just leave you with the memory of the All-Star. Right in shot, the MVP and her teammates, who are the FIBA Asia Women's Champions. And from Laurie and I, it's been a privilege to be here in Sydney. But we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you soon for more international action. But for now, goodbye.